Here's how to export block collections, a world, or sections of a world from Minecraft Bedrock Edition to a 3D mesh that we can then import into Blender. So the first thing we need to do is select the world that we want to be in. If this is one that has achievements and awards set, save a copy of this and edit the copy, because we need to be in creative mode for this to work. So if the world is set to survival or adventure, this is where you would want to copy the world and edit that. So creative, and that's all that's needed. So resume game, and then in the console, so the chat box, we need to type give at p closest player a structure. There we've got a hint already, underscore block, enter, and that will drop a structure block into our inventory. And this is essentially the same as or similar to the more advanced blocks that we can right click on. So all we need to do is just drop that into place, and it'll generate a little boundary box, and anything inside this boundary is going to be captured, and that will be exported as our 3D model. So how do we set the boundary? So that's the default, so that's going to be about 5 by 5 by 5 blocks. So right click, this will open up the structure block editor where we can set up the area that we want to export. There's a preview of what it's captured. So all we need to do is set the mode from save to 3D export. That'll change the interface a little bit, and then all we need to do is set the size of our boundary. So this is our capture area. So we've got green y-axis, that's up down, blue is front back or left right depending on your point of view, and red is front back or left right depending on your point of view. So we want to set an area, let's try 15, that's quite large, by 15 by 10. So the structure block itself is the origin. So that's the point of origination or the point of spawning for the boundary box. So we need to offset that, or we can offset that depending on what we want to capture. So let's try, it's too much. So this is a little bit fiddly because it has to be done manually. We have to type in the values of the bits that we want to capture. And we can see that we are offsetting from the structure block as the origin. We don't have to be regular size, we can do any size we want. So we'll capture that area. So that's going to be captured and converted into a 3D mesh. So all we need to do for that is just click on export. It's going to generate the model, which will then open the standard file explorer where we can save our mesh as a GLB file. Let's call this compound and then save. And that is the mesh exported from Minecraft. So in Blender, we can start from a clean scene. We're just going to leave the default cube in place for a size comparison because there is a difference between Minecraft and Blender that we do need to be mindful of. So all we need to do here is File, import GLTF 2.0, so GLB or GLTF. So file, import GL, browse to where we saved the file, select all these settings. We can leave those on their defaults, that's fine, and then just import, and that will bring in the 3D mesh. So it'll initially be in solid mode, so we can check the textures, switch to material preview, and there is our textured, deselect all, there is our textured capture. It's brought in all the textures, all the objects that were captured within the area. So, a couple of things to note here. This is not a solid mesh in the sense that it doesn't contain blocks. It's essentially just a skin. So it only exports, or only includes in the exports, any surface that can be seen in the 3D export tool. And what it does capture, it will then, let's go into the UV editor, generate or export a texture atlas. And there are two that are exported depending on what's been exported. So the ground textures, the wood, the bark, they will be an opaque texture atlas. Whereas all the leaves and the transparent surfaces, those will be a transparent or partially transparent texture atlas, depending on what it is that's been selected. So if we just move that, we can see transparency, or the alpha that's associated with those leaves. And of course, it doesn't bring in or export any lighting, so we can use the default lighting. There's the cube, we can see the size comparison. So the default cube is about twice as big as one block from Minecraft. But lighting, all we need to do is drop in our light entities, so add light and different lights to light up what we're looking at. Let's drop in a sun. If we do a sun, so light properties or light data properties, switch that to a sun, it's going to be overly bright. Default values are too strong, so change that down to, let's try 1, 5. And this will obviously introduce quite harsh shadows, so what we can do here is just duplicate the sunlight, Shift D, rotate that in the opposite direction, so 180. Disable shadow casting. But we do want shadows from the primary light, so we just need to reduce the intensity or the strength and or the color. So what this does is effectively act as an ambient secondary light. So that's the bounced light. We don't get harsh shadows. And then of course all we need to do, let's just use the default camera as it is. That's what it's going to render. So let's just do a quick render. Render image F12. And there's our render. So of course what we need to do is just fiddle with the position of the camera. change its local axes so that we are that'll do. Render image. So infinite possibilities. And that's what we got. So that is how we can export block collections. It's a good idea not to do it on an entire world, because it will create a GLB file that's absolutely huge. So that will export block collections as a 3D mesh that we can then import. Export in all the textures, because the texture sheet contains all the assets as a sheet instead of individual images that we can reference. So if we wanted to, let's try and select a UV. If we wanted to, we could remap that image section to something else. So that is exporting block collections or block selections from Minecraft Bedrock as a 3D mesh and importing that into Blender.